morning, Tamimi. Okay, let's see what's going on. So the market is up quite a substantial amount. Tesla had good earnings. That surprised me. The earnings beats across the board last night. Hey Alberto, good to see you. Oh, let's have a look at Bear. Yesterday's IPO. Spreads are currently $2, but there's potential on this one. No trades taken yet. Just waiting for something to set up nicely. Tesla's been looking nice. More expensive, but it's looking nice. Looking strong. If you've got a large account, Tesla's okay. If you've got normally you trade some in the price of Tesla with options because you get better leverage. Yeah, absolutely. GDP. Unfortunately, that the market hasn't taken. So if you look at, let's look at the SPY. So GDP released, but the market is selling off on the back of that. It pulled all the way down to 40110s. Bounced up quickly, but back up to the VWAP. But sometimes you never know what the market's going to be doing. So I think what they're looking for is negative results that can help them get inflation under wraps. With a high GDP, it means that, you know, people have still got a lot of money, people are still buying things, etc., etc. So yeah, not necessarily a good thing, certainly from a market point of view. And of course, on top of that, the jobless claims came out, and they were less than the estimate as well. So there's less people. They were hoping people would be, you know, losing jobs, and even with all the layoffs being announced by some of the tech firms and things, jobless claims are still below the estimates. So it's the opposite of what you would expect. So more people in work means more money in the economy, means inflation continues to rise. Less people in work means tighter pockets, tighter belts, means inflation can come down, and that's really where the market is right now. Yeah, well, the reason for that is that people have been laid off, but they've not actually lost their jobs yet. They're working the notice, liquid trader. So we've got. So we've got that was it that tenured period of about, it depends on the job, but it's usually about a month's grace. So over the last week to 2 weeks, we've had quite a number of companies laying off or announcing layoffs. They might not have even selected the people for layoffs, so they're announcing layoffs. But what tends to go through that is they'll announce that they're going to be laying people off, and then they'll go through a selection criteria, and then they'll have to go through the notification. People will get voluntary redundancies, for example, and that can take, what, 3 months, 3 to 6 months in some cases. Exactly, J-Spec. So HR still knocking up severance packages. A lot of the companies want to be, because what a lot of companies do, they'll announce that we're going to be laying people off, and then they'll issue a notification requesting voluntary termination, so people that want to leave the company for a payoff. And then it then becomes a last in, first out scenario. So if people have got no tenure with the company, they'll be, and they're not in what's perceived to be an essential worker, then they will be let go first, simply because it costs less to do that. The longer the tenure, then the bigger the severance packages it has to be. So you tend to find that whilst the announcements that we're going to be laying off people, that comes first, then the notification and the consultation period comes next, and then comes the actual layoff. So jobless, it doesn't impact the jobless numbers straight away. It's usually about 30 to 90 days later. Could be a fun day today, Alistair. Hopefully it will be. There's not a lot in terms of gappers that meet the criteria that I'm looking for, Super Chip. That's the thing. I mean, you've got some of the bigger, the blue chip companies like Tesla's gapping up. You've got so what I would suggest, you've got earnings. So Levi had earnings. We've got American Airlines had earnings. Tesla, because they've had such strong results, you'll get a knock-on sympathy effect with other stocks in the EV space, so the likes of NIO and XPeng and Li Autos and etc. will probably have a knock-on bullish effect to them with Tesla moving up. The Qualtrics had earnings, so some of the mid-cap companies, mid-cap stocks have had earnings. Qualtrics have had earnings. They're currently one of the top gappers at the moment. So yeah, there's quite a lot happening at the moment, but nothing really setting up. Yeah, unfortunately, the liquid trader, you've got in a lot of cases, particularly in the corporate sector, you've got employee rights. So if you terminate somebody without due cause, then they come after you for wrongful dismissal. And you know how litigious the US is, that they're only too happy to come after you for a litigious claim of, litigate for wrongful dismissal and, prejudice or whatever reason. And so you've got to be careful. You've got to dot the I's and cross the T's effectively, so that the company can't be held liable for that person being terminated. Well, with the Dow, it's looking bullish, so I'll put the Dow up there right now. DIA is the ETF that represents the Dow. The ETF isn't trading much. You get the volume in after the bell, but you can see it's up on the day at the moment, 0.2%, so a fifth of a percentage point. And you look at the overall market. The SPY is a good indicator of the overall market. The S&P500. And that's moving up. So it did. We got this quick drop all the way down. That's when the jobless data and the GDP data all came out. And whilst it dipped, quick rebound, and we're going to be testing highs on the SPY. We'll probably get over 403 before the bell. So it got rejected at 403 just a few minutes ago. So the top of the hour. What was my P&L yesterday? A little over 4,000 profit yesterday. 4,200. So if you want to check the trade recaps, I always drop a trade recap at the end of each trading day on YouTube, which I go over the trades that I've taken and the finishing numbers. So I did that on a small account and I did that on the main account for YouTube yesterday. So go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll get notified when I drop those in the evening. And yeah, go ahead and do that. Morning, Steve. I'm not seeing a catalyst on microalgo either, so I'm a little bit worried that this might be a pump before they hit the market with an offering. It's been knocking around for the last couple of days. It pumped up there on Monday, I think it was. No, Friday. Then it had another good day on Monday. And whilst it sold off after hours on Wednesday, it was kind of stagnant. It had another good day yesterday. We reclaimed the gains, and now we're up again today. So let's have a look at what the original catalyst, because it's a continuation. Okay, so there we go. So last Friday, which is when it moved up originally, Microalgo announced it entered securities purchase agreement for up to 3.2 million. That's what started the run on Microalgo. So let's have a look at Microalgo and put this on the 60 minutes so you can actually see what where we're actually at. So here, had a little bit of a pop, then we had a pop there, but there's nothing significant. So that was last Friday. So there's nothing really significant as of today. No catalyst as such on Microalgo, unfortunately. So I'm not sure how much you can trust that move. It's reasonably, I wouldn't say it's high relative volume. It's reasonable relative volume. It's below the VWAP at the minute, but it's reasonable relative volume. Normally, Microalgo does about 2.3 million. It's done 3.7, so it's 1.5 times at the moment as it stands. A little over 1.5 times in terms of the relative volume. Key data, it's a mid-sized float as well. So we've got 41 million in the float. So it's under 100 million, which is what I look for, what I like to trade. It's less than 100 million, but it's not one of these micro floats that's like less than 10 million, which I do prefer. I'm just not seeing any catalyst. Let's have a look at if there's any SEC filings, because if they filed a shelf there, corporate statement, I'm just looking for if they've got any plans to flood the market with an additional offering. And that's what I'm worried about with this one, is it could hit the market with another offering and then tank the price. Just be careful of that. I like to keep my charts relatively clean there. So yeah, I don't use too many indicators. I don't think there's information overload is real. Now, I might, if I'm depending on the strategy that I'm looking at, if I'm looking at reversals, if I'm swing trading, I'll use more indicators. If I'm looking for reversals, I'll use more indicators. But quite frankly, I don't think there's a need when you're momentum trading, which is essentially what I do. When you're momentum trading, you don't need that many indicators. The VWAP is probably the most powerful indicator for me from an intraday trading perspective. And this has moved up 30 cents in the last 2 minutes. Tesla's moved up as well. Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I suppose there is a similar pattern, but MLGO is extended over a little bit longer time frame. But if you look at the 2-minute time frame and the 5-minute time frame on the between the SPY and MLGO, it coincidentally looks very similar. But I think that's not all it is. It's more of a coincidence than anything else. I've got 4 screens, so I've done that loads of times, Liquid Trader. I've shown my setup loads of times, so I will do it again. I do it periodically. I've got 4 different screens going at the moment. So I've got my trading screen, my Benzinga scanners and notification screen. I've got my watch list screen, and then I've got my business screen, which is effectively where I've got the chat and my emails and everything else going on. So we're going a bit of a flat top up at 260. X-ray. Well, I'm watching Genius Group, but Genius is kind of trading. It's not trading with much volume at the moment, but and it's trading sideways. So I'm keeping an eye on that. Just broke highs now. Got out to that flat top, so just taking a position on micro algo. Let's see, can we get that move up? I was waiting for a pullback, but instead we got the breakout. Well, Qualtrics, no bad company, and they've had good earnings, so that's why that's moving up. So I was offered a job with them many years. Well, I said many years, about 4 or 5 years ago. Managerial position on the sales team here in Europe. No, 2.5K, she gets a treat. Yeah, well, it's not the top of day because the high of day right now is 282. But what I was looking for, so what I looked for there, why did I get in there? So we had the move up, we had a pullback, and then we had resistance up at 260. So we had a further pullback, but a swing, a higher low, swing low, but it's a higher low, and then the move up. So then we got the break of 260. That's where the resistance was. So we got the break of 260, and that's when I got in for the break of 260. And we actually did have some reasonable volume, but the volume's dying off now. So I'll give it till the $0.50, and then get out. See, people say, buy low, sell high. What I prefer to do is ride a trend, buy high and sell higher. So if it's trending, trying to guess the bottoms, trying to anticipate the bottoms of a move is extremely difficult. So I prefer to get a stock that's trending and following a trend, and then buy high, sell higher. So you look for the entry positions, you look for the patterns for a breakout, and then when it breaks out, you look for the move higher. So that's why I got it up there. I'll take a look at Albiz after this trade, X-ray. So I'm at 263 is my entry, and we're currently got 5 cents down on the ask. But we're also getting this, so we got the resistance there at 260, but we're also getting this higher low. So we're getting a bit of a flag forming after this flagpole. So this is now becoming a flag formation. It's a narrowing triangle. It depends on the float size, so and the liquidity of that stock. I've just taken 5,000 shares, but there are already 5 million shares traded of micro algo. So I don't think my measly paltry 5k shares is moving the stock at all. X-ray, there is no catalyst no discernible catalyst on this one today, which is why I'm a little bit wary of it. I'm a little bit wary that if it gets to a certain level, they can just rug pull and issue an offering. Okay, well, she'll get a treat when I'm out of this trade. One thing at a time, Liquid. Tesla breaking highs. When my 5,000 shares, like I say, it's paltry. When there's 100,000 shares traded on that last 1 minute candle, so 100,000 shares a minute is, you know, it's good volume to be trading. It's a good liquid stock at the moment. 5.5 million shares traded so far in this session. Well, that's what I was looking for, Tamimi. Some kind of shelf registration. I couldn't find one. If SPY can break the 400 resistance, what do you mean? It's up at 402's X-ray. SPY's up at 402 already. Can't break the 403 resistance. I'm not adding to this position because I'm not overly confident on it where it's at. Got a bit of a double top there on the 1 minute. It's a flat top on the 2 minute, but it's a double top on the 1 minute. If you look at this, we've got the top there, pullback, top there. So that's a kind of a bearish, it's an exit indicator or reversal indicator. So my original trade plan was I'm giving it till the $0.50. It's broke the $0.50, so that's when I get out. Now that can bounce on the $0.50 and move back up. I'll look at other things. I'll come back for that later. So this is Qualtrics that I was talking about earlier. I don't think it'll get as high as 410, but I could be totally wrong. So MLG up for the hood. There we go. I gave it till the $0.50. I was right to give it till the $0.50, but it just broke below. So that's stop loss hunting. And watch this breakout now. So there you go, new highs. Okay, so it's a pain in the hole when you've got the right idea and your trade plan is correct, but you judge it just slightly wrong in terms of where you put your stops. Look, that's what happens sometimes. So I'm not saying I'm a good trader, but look, that was the right. It was the right move. Okay, well, whilst we're doing that, I'll put the SPY on because someone's talking about breaking 400. So the SPY. Here you go. You're looking at me. Come on then. Not clever. Not big and not clever. Off we go. I've got them covered. Stand up. When you can get it, go on. There's you go. That's the dog fed. The next one at 5,000. The SPY testing this. So we're getting a bit of a triple top here. Up at 403. Oh, it's testing 403, so if it breaks 403, that could be very, very important. Yeah, I think October may well have been the bottom. The pessimists may say, no, no, the bottom's yet to come, but we'll see. Okay, so we went up to, now got a high of, on this one, 273. So I would have got the 10 cents I was looking for. Bottom yet to come? Yeah, well, you know, if I look at the SPY, let's have a look at it on the daily. So on the daily, back in October, this was the bottom down at 348. We're a long way off right now. I'm not saying that we're not going to go back down there, but I think we've got some major catastrophes to happen if we're going to get back down there anytime soon. So let's see. If we look at this on a kind of wider time frame, you can see that just this time last year, the highs up here at 480 were not far off. In fact, a little bit more, and we'll probably be closer to the top than we will be to the bottom. So 350 being the bottom and 480 being the top, we're currently at 400. So 80 to the upside to reach the all-time highs, and 50 to the downside to reach the down lows. So we've got opportunities either way. I think the bottom's probably in. Well, they keep trying to do it super cheap, but the markets are just not listening. So they keep raising interest rates, and the market continues rallying. They can't get a grip on the bullish economy because nobody's laying people off. We'll see. Yeah, so this now is up at went up to over 280s now, so it's a little bit extended for me. Genius Group is over $4, so that's now something that's of interest to me. Over $4 is of interest. If it gets over 410, that takes it green on the day. So that could be worth keeping an eye on. Wayfair again, well, there's no volume, so it's moving up in line with the market. So Wayfair tends to move with the market, and that's what it's doing right now. So it's moving up with the market, and there's just nobody trading it though. So right now, 97,000 shares traded. There's virtually no volume on Wayfair. Let's see. Same thing with Bridget Aerospace. What I'm looking for is Bullfrog AI is an IPO that's due to launch today, so that's what I'm keeping my eye on. May or may not have some volatility, but we'll only find out when it launches. Actually, Lyft, why am I looking at Lyft? So again, Lyft is moving up with the market. There's quite a lot moving up with the market. Let's have a look at some of these Chinese EV manufacturers like NIO that should be moving up with Tesla and is. I'm not too keen on this right now in terms of the volume and the overall volatility, less than 2 cents on the ATR, but the direction is in line with Tesla. Let's have a look at XPeng and Li Autos, etc. So again, this is moving up. Look at it on a higher time frame. It's easier to see. It's moving up again, in line with sympathy with Tesla, and Tesla having a good earnings drop last night. And this is moving up in sympathy with Tesla, and you'll probably find that Li Autos is doing the same thing. So the EV manufacturing, EV sector is going to be buoyant today, just on the back of the leader of that sector, which is Tesla. It needs more volume to trade it. It's nice to see that they're upwards trending, but need more volume to trade it. Let's take a look at crypto. I'm still in the hole on crypto. I know that much. So the crypto market, we've seen kind of Bitcoin looking at that 22,750 level for a while. It's kind of consolidating around this 23,000 level now. It's over 23,000 again. It did drop, and then it had a bit of a spike yesterday afternoon. It went up as high as 23.7s, but 23.8 yesterday afternoon. So it's still over. Well, it did pull back pretty much immediately. It's still over 23,000. So if it holds 23,000, then Bitcoin and the crypto market is probably showing signs of strength there. Ethereum over 1,600 as well, 1618 right now. Cardano 38.3 cents. XRP 41.3 cents. So crypto market is showing strength. It is kind of consolidating sideways around 23,000. It is holding, so it's showing some strength, which is kind of interesting. If you look at it from an RSI point of view, it's right in the mid zone, so it could go either way. It's not overbought or oversold or anything like that. It's right in the middle of the zone from an RSI point of view. So that's the crypto market. That's your crypto update done for the day. I can check BTB. I certainly can. So BTB, not a lot of people trading it, low volume, 272. It's not doing anything right now. Just kind of sideways. If you look at this on the wider time frame, it's pretty much sideways the last day and a half. So not really doing much at 270s. Okay, so that's BTB. It's been pretty sideways for, well, since it took a nosedive off a cliff earlier in the month. It's just been sideways since it reached the bottom. I just hope you're not holding bags, because it's not gonna. I can't see BTB going back up to $7, $8, $9 again for a while without any specific catalyst to help it along the way. Yeah, well, I misjudged it and had a little bit of a blip on that. Yeah, what else are we looking at? Getting some decent movers, just not on great volume. That's the thing. So look at this. COYA moved up huge amounts in a very short space of time. It's low volume, so it's not reliable. It's pulling back again, so you can't trade that. APCX popped up, kind of, what's that? 1,000 shares. Somebody bought it at $5. Happy days if you're selling it at $5 when it's down here at 450s, but you know, there's just no volume. Just a case of wait. It looks like we've got quite a few catalysts and macroeconomic catalysts today. So just wait for the opportunities. They will come. Typically, I don't like to trade stocks below $3. So now I'm looking at this for a breakout and a break above $3. I did trade it down at 250. So already, so I got in here for the breakout, but it pulled back. So I just mistimed that move. So it actually broke out here and moved up, and that was a good 35 cents in the end. So I was right with the plan. Just set my stop a little bit too tight. So should have had 20 cents instead of just 13. Am I looking to trade in the open or PM? Pre-market. Okay, well, I trade open. I've already traded pre-market, so I can't say I'm not looking. I'm looking for an opportunity. When there's an opportunity to trade, I will trade it. I'm looking for a setup. That's what I'm looking for. Until I get the setup, I'm not just going to take a trade for trade's sake. I can take a look at Kavana for you. Again, there's no volume on Kavana. 329 shares traded out in total today. It is moving up, but again, this is likely to be market sentiment rather than individual catalyst. You tell me, is there a catalyst moving Kavana up? Because I'm not sure, but it's there's not a lot of volume in there at the moment. It's 8% up, so it's bordering on the cusp of where I would be interested in it moving. But like I say, it looks to be moving in line with market sentiment rather than its own the strength of its own price action. Morning, Adzilla. So let's look at XM starting to make a move up now. That was a decent doji was a decent volume candle, which didn't sustain. Now we're trying. Now we're testing $3. Rejected at $3 before. Oh, cheers, wavy boy. That's the whole point. Well, we've got 20 minutes to the open. $3 is the resistance level now, so high of day is 301. It's that $3 resistance area. Over 303, so that's the breakout. Now it needs to hold the $3 level. What are we, 20 minutes before the bell? This is looking strong, actually. Getting high volume on this candle. Can we pull back and test the whole dollar as support? Yeah, Tamimi, it's a reasonably extended right now. It's currently 81%, over 80% up on the day. So 81, 82% up on the day. So that's a big move intraday, particularly without a specific catalyst, and that's what worries me about this. So I'm just going to take a position there for the break of highs. Got a very tight risk. Looking for, what did I, 307? I'm looking for 320. It is extended. I mean, particularly on the 5 minute, we've got what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 9 green candles in a row. So on the 5 minute, is Govax moving? I'll check Govax for you in a moment, Edzilla. Just in a trade right now. I've got a very tight risk on this. The whole dollar is my risk. And this ain't just... New high of day, which is 312. Couple of dojis up there. Gonna get out there. It didn't break out as quick as I wanted it to, so I'll take a quick look at Govax for you. Yeah, there's not a lot happening with Govax either. It had a good day yesterday, but it's down on the day today, pulled all the way back. So middle of the day yesterday it started to sell off, so it's pulling all the way back. I'll look at this on the 15 so you can see it a little bit better. So it had a really good day yesterday. It moved up to kind of 130s, high 130s, and then it pulled back, consolidated in the after hours session, and then it's just it's underneath the VWAP selling off right now. That's not to say it won't rally or it won't sell off, but right now it's sideways. If you look at this on the 5, you can see it's the VWAP is pretty much horizontal. It's above, it's below, it's above, it's below. So it's trending sideways at the moment. It's a bit choppy. Not huge volume, as you can see here right now. So maybe in 15 minutes after the bell, we'll get a bit more volume come in, and we'll see what happens with Govax. For me, for it to move, Govax needs a good catalyst again. And I don't know if it's going to get a continuation from yesterday, but let's see. Had a good day yesterday, but will it continue? I'm not so sure. Okay, so just coiling underneath around that $3 level there. So let's see what happens. I'm not going to jump in until we get confirmation one way or the other. Potential bit of a pullback to the $3. I did say I wanted to pull back and test $3, which it did. It's done it twice now, and as support. So we're finding support at the whole dollar. It's quarter, half, and whole dollars are very psychological levels. So always watch for those when you're trading stocks at this kind of price. They're not as relevant when it comes to stocks. If you're trading Tesla, for example, you're not really going to be bothered about the 25-cent mark on something or the 50-cent mark on something. But when you're trading Tesla, then you start talking about $5, $10, and $25, etc. Yes, there is a like button, Edzilla. Just tap your screen. Every time you tap the screen, it gives me a like. You can get a little heart comes out. So you tap your screen multiple times, and you can tap away. You can be spamming the channel with likes. And if we get over 5,000 likes, I feed the dog again. Also, guys, if you're watching on the old YouTube, do me a solid and hit that thumbs up button. It really does help me out. And if you're not subscribed already, subscribe to the channel. I do post video, not just the lives, but I post videos every single day, explaining the actual trades that I do, giving a summary of what profits and or losses. It's important to be transparent both ways, what profits or losses were made on the day, and how that's made up and what trades we took. So yeah, just hit the thumbs up button. It really does help me out. We did get that pullback, broke $3, so that's not too bad. I'll put the little horizontal up there, marking the high of day, pre-market high, which is 312. So if we're going to get a gap and go, it's got to break 312. No, so I put the ATR on. So to me, I'm not using it with volume. It's just there for me to look at. I'm not really looking at the line graph. I'm looking at the actual numbers. So the ATR, if you're using ATR, and I don't really look at the ATR and use it that often, but if you're using the ATR, particularly on a highly volatile stock, it's a good indicator of volatility. So what you can do is you can use if you're not sure where to set your stops, you can use the ATR as a guide. And if you've got an ATR of say 10 cents, you don't want to setting your stop at 5 cents below your entry. What you want to be doing is giving it at least 10 cents. You might want to say, okay, well, 1.5 or 2 times the ATR because that's the volatility as your stop level. So that way, as you get in, you know what you're going to be risking, so you adjust your size accordingly. But if it pulls back before then moving up, because a lot of people, they misjudge their. Well, you saw me do it actually a little bit earlier. You saw me do it here on where I got in at the break of 260s. We got this move up, then we got the pullback, and then we got a bit of a flat top. So then, as we broke highs, I got in there as a breakout, bit of a fake out, and then it pulled back. Now, if I'd been watching the ATR and I'd given it, if I'd given the ATR 1.5 times, I wouldn't have got stopped out. I would have carried on and been able to get that whole move. But basically, I give it to the $0.50. I was in at 63, and the ATL, let's say the ATL was 8 cents, yeah, maybe I would have got stopped out, but you kind of get the drift. It's still price. It's just it's still on the price. I've just got the numbers down here on the volume graph. It's not actually showing. I'm not really paying much attention to the line graph, but that's just how it represents. It's the actual the value that's important to me. How high can Tesla go? Well, Tesla is having a good day today. It's 10% up on the day. Let's have a look at this on the daily, shall we, and see where the next resistance levels are. So we're pretty much at a resistance level right now. So 160 for Tesla. There's a key level here. We've seen resistance back in last month at 160. Then after that, we're looking at 166, 167. Then we're back up to the levels up here, kind of 180, 190. So Tesla, there's nothing stopping Tesla going all the way back up over $200. But next, we're pretty much at the level. 160 is the level that we're going to get more resistance. That's where we've seen resistance over the last month anyway. Hello, Nikolai. Good to see you. Not at this particular point in time, so let's have a look at Meta for you. Facebook is now Meta. So Meta, it's moving up with the market in general. If we look at it on a 15-minute, very choppy yesterday, but it's moving higher in line with the market right now. It's been pretty solid over the last since it hit its lows in November. Be interesting to see what happens with Meta when the earnings drop, and will it sell off and lose? Because this time last year, when Meta dropped its earnings, it lost 30% in 2 days of its value in 2 days. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the earnings. The market didn't take favourable to its earnings last quarter, so it needs a good earnings. It needs a good earnings this quarter. It's back up to the levels it was before it dropped last quarter, but we've seen how it can drop and get below 100 again. So Meta, we'll see. I've not traded it this time. No, but the last time I traded it was actually at the earnings, and I shorted it and made, I think I made over 20k on that, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me. How's my day trading going? It's going very well, if I do say so myself. I hit my goals last year, even though I set my goals in a bull market, the top of the bull run, and I set my goals, I still managed to not just hit them, but overachieve against my goals last year. So yeah, I would say it's going reasonably well. I've set an increased goal this year, and hopefully we can. We're ahead of. We're on track. We're not ahead of goal, but well, pro rata we're ahead of goal. But we're on track to overachieve again this year, based on the first couple of weeks of trading. Had some good. We've had some good runners, really good runners over the last couple of weeks. So we've got 5 minutes to the bell. Tesla breaking highs. Tesla testing that 160 level now. As I say, we've got key resistance up at 160 on the daily. 160.99 on the 16th. That was my big day. 160.93 on the 15th, and 161.62 on the 14th. So we had quite a bit of resistance at that level before it then continued to sell off. So on the daily, this is a key level. This 160 area. Well, I've set myself a goal of 6K per day, Nikolai, this year. I was averaging a little over 5K per day last year. So did 4 yesterday, but I did 27 on Tuesday, but then I lost 24 on Monday. So swings and roundabouts. What you gain on the swings, you lose on the roundabouts. You've got to be able to, and again, if you're thinking of doing, getting into trading the markets, first and foremost, learn how first. Do not trade in a simulator. Do not put money on the line until you've actually studied, spent time, do at least 3 to 6 months of study and practice in a simulator before you put money into a brokerage. Don't just jump in because you've seen you've seen it on YouTube or wherever. You will lose money, and even after then, you're going to lose money. I lose money every single day. I lose money. The question is, can you make more than you lose? And you've got to be able to, be realistic about it in terms of your expectations. You're not going to make 5-6K a day on a $5 account. It's actually, I'm trading the small account. I'm not taking a trade on the small account today, but the small account that I'm trading is currently just under 5K today. So we're looking at $250 targets on the small account today, and we're just looking for that one trade to set us up for that. But going back to what I was saying, if you're going to be trading, you've got to recognize the fact that you're going to be wrong as much, and sometimes more than you're right. I've just taken 2 trades and lost on both of them. So right now I've 2 entries on the one trade, but I've managed my risk. I took 13 cents. I lost 13 cents on the first one. I lost 5 cents on the a couple of cents on the second one. So you manage your risk accordingly, and keep your eye on the exit signals. If you're spotting the reversals, just make sure that you're paying heed. Don't just think that because you're in it, those exit indicators are not valid. They absolutely are. Everybody loses money on the markets. What you need to be doing is making sure that you lose less than you make. But everybody loses money. Everybody takes losing trades. Everybody has losing days. And getting used to being wrong regularly it's a difficult habit to get into, because as human beings, we don't like being wrong. As human beings, it's a difficult skill to acquire, but it is a skill all the time. So get used to being wrong if you trade in the markets. Get used to losing money, because you're going to do it. You just want to be losing less than what you're gaining. Well, at 120 bucks plus tax, Sane, 120 bucks plus tax. If you can't afford that, then trading isn't for you anyway. But I'm not going to say it's worth buying. You just ask in the chat for anybody that's in the chat that's taking it. Why is my camera like that? Anybody that's in the chat that's taking it, I'm sure they'll be very candid with you on what they've gained from it. I'll change the scanners over. It's not just the knowledge that you pick up from it; it's the mentorship and it's the community that you're getting as well. But look, you ask the people that are in the chat that have taken the course, and I'm sure they'll tell you straight away whether they think it's worth it or not. It's not for me to decide that. Well, Nikolai, absolutely. Absolutely. I lost money. I actually lost quite a bit of money to start off with, as most traders do. And expect that initially you're going to lose money as well. So don't trade with money that's not expendable. Don't trade with any money that you can't afford to lose, because you're going to lose money to start off with too. Just watching XM, I'm watching MLGO, I'm watching Genius Group selling off. The market is rallying. Tesla popped up, pulled back a little bit, but we're still watching. It's going to take, I would say, between 3 and 6 months before you understand what you're doing. If you're a complete novice, probably 6 to 12 months before you understand what you're doing. You've got some knowledge, 3 to 6 months. But if you're practicing in a simulator, then after that you want to be starting and set your expectations. You're not going to be earning $4,000 or $5,000 a day. You're not going to be hitting my level of trading right from the off. It's going to take time. So set your expectations low. Do what I'm doing with the small account challenge. You set yourself a goal of maybe 5% daily, maybe even less than that if you're a little bit shy. But 5% daily on a small account, $5,000 is you've got a $250 goal daily. You might want to go less than that. You want to say, okay, well, maybe 2.5%, in which case you're looking for a little over $100 a day to start off with. And once you get consistent gains, then you can start scaling up. You can start taking bigger size. You can start taking bigger risks. And if you're making those gains, then you think about it this way. If you do $200 a day, that's $1,000 a week on average. That's across 52 weeks, you're looking at over 50 grand. Yeah, J-Spec. I think the difference being is if you try and do it on your own, it's very difficult to learn. And what you tend to do when you're learning by yourself, what I certainly did anyway, you dabble in futures, you dabble in forex, you dabble in crypto as well as the stock market. You do so many different things that you never actually get good at one of them, and then you end up losing. So concentrate on one area, and then so are we going to get a gap and go here? Looking for the break of 312. That's the pre-market high. With Genius Group going green on the day. 410s. The present goal of 2%, Alberto, that's great. You shouldn't be risking more than 3% of your equity in a trade. That's what I'm saying. Not necessarily what I do, but that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't be risking more than 3% of your equity in any one given trade. If you're wondering what that noise is, that's my dog snoring. I want to see it over 312, maybe 315. Get over this pre-market high. We got 315. High of day now is 315. Well, the more the merrier, Nikolai. Stick around. I'm dropping nuggets every day. And I'm trading every day. So looking for the retest of $3 this time. VWAP is currently 78. bounced on the VWAP at the open, so that's what I'm using as my exit. Got the VWAP, you've got the $0.75, you've got the session low, all very close to each other, 270, 275, 280. And you've got the 9 and 20 EMAs up at 285. So this area's got a confluence of relevance. Only watch the chart instead of reading the chat. Idiot. Now I've got lower than I should have done. Genius Group breaking highs now, up at 420s. Well, you can, if you go into my, Nikolai, if you go into my profile and look on the link tree, you'll see the course there for Day Trade with Tony. If you click through onto that and then scroll down to the bottom, you've got the first 6 months of last year, you've got my broker reports and my trade review statistics, all there for anyone to see. So, transparency. Got my stop in place there. I'll just look for other things to trade around while that's consolidating now. How did Qualtrics get on? That's sold off, so we might get a turnaround. Bullfrog hasn't started trading yet. It's unusual you see that the VIX is positive at the same time as the SPY is positive, and vice versa. Usually when one's negative, the other one is going in the opposite direction, but go figure. Well, I'm just waiting for the right setup now. If this gets back over the VWAP, it could be interesting. Genius Group is starting to make a move up. Breaking highs. Probably this is probably the momentum stock of the moment. Yeah, micro algo. It looks like I'm getting stocked out on that one. Alright, what else? There's not a lot moving right now. So what we're waiting for here. So if you look here on the scanners, the momentum scanners here, whilst you're getting things moving like 6-7% over the 15-minute, oh, this is the 5 minutes. It should be 15. Things moving or kind of 10% over 50. They're not doing it on great volume. So that's a little bit what we're looking for. We want volume and volatility. If you're wondering what I'm looking at on a daily, wait a minute. Wondering what I'm looking at on the daily. I'll just show this to everybody. This is what I've got on my laptop screen right now. So this is my Benzinga workstation. So I've got right now. I've got my gaps scanners here. So this is the biggest movers on the day to the upside. And I've got it filtered, so this is the biggest movers to the upside above $2. Here I've got my momentum scanner, so it's over the last 15 minutes, who's moving, on what volume. If you can see here, you can see the volume, but also what the average volume over the last 3 months is as well, so that I can work out what the relative volume is on that as well. Here I've got my real-time scanner. So this shows me, and I can change this based on the last hour, the last 30 minutes, the last 5 minutes. I can just click the thing and I can total change. Then I've got my signals and alerts here, and I've got my rolling news ticker here. So this is what I'm looking at constantly whilst I'm checking the price action. So yeah, that's my Benzinga page, if you will, and that's what I'm. Where's my TikTok? Okay, so let's go back to that stream. This isn't it isn't a train station. You don't need to announce your departure, Nikolai. I don't put the stop line on DAS. So if you go into the you basically on the chart, I've covered this off in the Discord anyway, but on the chart you check the box that says show orders on the chart config area. So that's how you put it in there, Ian. So message me on the Discord and I'll show you exactly. I don't want to be showing it here, but there you go. Let's have a look at BTB whilst it's being requested. So that's moving up to 86. So it's now 6% up on the day, but it's not moving up on huge volume. Right now, this candle is like 16,000 shares, so it's not moving up on huge volume. Given the size of the float for Bit Brother, I think there's other more interesting stocks, or there will be more interesting stocks to trade. Tesla vomiting, coming down towards the 200 EMA. Then again, the market vomiting. In addition to that, so the market vomiting all the way down to the market and Tesla pretty much trading in tandem. A lot of things just selling off right now. So Qualtrics selling off, getting a potential double bottom set up there. So this gets to kind of 470, 465, 470. We might have a double bottom potential breakout. So watch for the break of the VWAP on Qualtrics. Micro algo pulling all the way back. I got stopped out there, so I had the stop in place. It's no problem. I got stopped out at 260. Just waiting for something to set up. Don't take the trade just because it's moving. Right, okay, so GNLX is looking like it might launch at 10 o'clock. $6. So this could be something worth keeping an eye on. It today's IPO, $10. Depends on what kind of volatility it gets. BTB getting some volume there, it seems. I know, just got that one spike up, but big wick. So range on this now is 4 cents. ATR of 4 cents. Oh, just be careful. Magenta. It's down on the day, but it's trying to move up. 42 cents. And the best thing is, if the setups don't come to you, don't trade. It literally is that simple. If there are no setups, if you don't see something that's worth taking, it has to be a good setup, and don't trade it. I can have a look at BZFD, which is BuzzFeed. It's currently up 47% on the day, BuzzFeed. Above 10%, probably. It's up 47%. It's up at 140s. It did go up to 150s, but it's 140 right now. So that's what BuzzFeed is doing. If you look at this on the 15-minute chart, you can see since yesterday it wasn't doing anything up until close of business yesterday. It popped up. I don't know if it had earnings last night or not, but it popped up, and it's had increase in volume this morning as a result. And then at the bell, it shot out. So BuzzFeed's having a reasonably good day today. 45%, currently still over 40% up on the day. But yeah, that's BuzzFeed. They did a deal with MTA. Is that why it's moving up, Clarty? It's below the level that I like to trade, so I've not looked at the catalyst. Nikolai, you have to have a license to do that, Nikolai. To trade with other people's money, you need a license. I could get a license, but the question I would put to you is, why would I trade with other people's money and split the proceeds 50-50 when I could trade with my money and keep all of it? You know? But I have been asked if I would do that. Somebody said if I would trade with their money, they'll give me 30%. I'm like, really? I can go and get one of these prop firms, these the likes of Trading Academy, that is a partner with occasionally, that will give me 70%. So they will give me the funds to trade and the platform and everything else, and I can keep 70% of the gain. So something like TradeNet Academy, or if you're a futures trader, something like Top Step, or one of those things. There are prop firms that do that. I mean, they have the challenge that goes ahead, and a lot of them, they make the challenge so difficult so that they're making more money on the challenge than people are on the actual trading. So there's that. But I think the big thing there is that you trade small to be profitable, and you've got no expiry on the challenge. So yeah. If you're thinking of trading with one of these funded trader programs, make sure that you buy into a funded trader package. It doesn't expire. The only way you're not getting the access to it is by hitting the max drawdown, and then you just trade small. You might take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months. You might take a longer period to get funded, But once you've got access to it, you can just manage your risk. And that's really what they're looking for, is somebody. It's more important to manage your risk effectively than it is to be able to spot a big mover and make a big gain on a big, because if you trade like I tend to do on a daily basis, then you're going to have those big swings in your equity curve like I do. And that's not what prop firms are looking for. They want slow and steady, gradual increases over time. So that's how you should be trading. Trading should be boring. But if it's boring, it's not as much fun. The SPY is absolutely vomiting. The likes of Tesla going with it. Oh, Tesla bounced. Tesla bounced on the 200. So no, they've diverged now. So the SPY continued to vomit whilst Tesla did a bounce at the 200 EMA. So yeah, what did we get from? Oh, here we go. Here's a potential setup for you guys. So we've got this sell-off here on micro algo. We've got a potential shoulder there, a head, and another shoulder here. So if it breaks above the VWAP, watch for a potential breakout, and you look for about 20 cents if you do. So looking for break of 275, and then continue up to retest $3. Inverse head and shoulders. That's that path. I'm not trading that until it's. I'm no longer looking at this until it's back over $3. That's just me. But that inverse head and shoulders is a nice bullish pattern. It doesn't quite work that way, Nikolai. So the economies of scale don't work. I mean, I've got a large account, so I understand what you're saying, but I've got a large account anyway. So that's first and foremost. So me saying that if I've got more money, I'll make more money. It doesn't quite work that way, because in theory, you could, if you're trading these low cap, low float stocks like I do, because they're a low float, if you try to use larger position, because I'm taking 5, 10, 20, sometimes 25,000 shares as my position, and if you're taking a large position on a 2 million float stock, then if you're trying to get in with the big position, you're going to move the needle quite substantially. So getting in and getting out that's a skill in itself in terms of scaling in and scaling out without affecting the price action too much. Because as soon as you start scaling out of a 25,000 share position and you start affecting the price action by doing that, you're either going to not get filled if you've got limit orders, or if you've got a market order, you're going to get big slippage, and then everybody else is going to see that the market's moving down, so they're going to sell, and you create that snowball effect. So you've got to be careful with how you trade large size with small float stocks. What you could do is you increase your price threshold, so you end up trading the Teslas, and you're trading the Shopifys, and you're trading the Microsofts and the Netflixes, and you do day trading them. The problem with day trading them, though, is that whilst you're looking for smaller incremental moves percentage wise, so you're risking a lot more in terms of equity stake for smaller gains percentage wise. But if you've got a $1 million account, you don't trade penny stocks. If you're managing a portfolio or a hedge fund, you don't trade penny stocks. Quite simply, the domain of these low float, low cap stocks is the domain of the retail community. Most retail traders will trade at this level, at the between kind of 50 cents to $50. That's kind of where the most retail traders will trade. If you're going higher than that, retail traders tend to trade options. So if you start talking Microsoft and Netflix and Tesla and Amazon, they tend to be traded by the retail community in the options chain rather than on the equities. More than 80% of the volume traded on those corporate blue chip stocks is high frequency traders. It's the institutional traders. You're welcome, Brian. Okay, so edibles. Very low volume. Edible garden. Anybody for CBD? That popped up, but this is what we're looking for. Is we're looking for good moves like this in terms of volatility. You can see that the average true range here, 56 cents. So you've got a good range there. However, the downside is there's no volume. We've not even got 10,000. We've not got a single volume candle above 10,000 shares. You need both. You can't trade one without the other. That's the problem with a lot of these stocks. They're just moving up. They've got good move, but they've not got the volume. And I'm looking at the scanners right now. The 15-minute scanner, which is the momentum scanner, is there's nothing with good volume on it. Okay. What are we looking for? Let's go back to did we get the breakout? Well, still time. Probably not. Got rejected at the VWAP, so it needed to give him for this to break out. It needed to get over the VWAP. So we had the head, we had the shoulders, head, another shoulder, but the neckline was up there at the VWAP 275. Didn't get up there. Tested it twice and then failed. So that pattern broke. So that's now not something that because if you look at this on the higher time frame, it wasn't so much a head and shoulders, but on the 5-minute, for example, it was just a flat top and it just broke down. So patterns, if you're looking for pattern breakouts, just remember they're not 100. There's no such thing as a 100% successful pattern. It just doesn't work. So what you want to be doing is trying to find something with a high. So a head and shoulders over 80% successful. Inverse head and shoulders and a head and shoulders over 80% successful. They will break in the direction you expect them to break, but not 100%. And it's a probabilities game. It is a probabilities game. If you recognize that not every trade is going to go your way, you want to give yourself an edge over the market by own trading probabilities, which is why you want the volume and the volatility. Get the volatility, you need the volume then to have reliable breakouts, or it gives you a higher percentage chance for that breakout to sustain. If you've not got the volume, it's probably going to fake you out. Nikolai, that's okay. You know, we all start learning somewhere. No problem. And the questions that you're asking, I can guarantee you there's other people watching that are thinking exactly the same question and are just not. They just don't have the cojones to front up because they don't want to be looking stupid. I'm not saying you look stupid. I'm saying that you look like a novice by asking novice questions. But by you asking novice questions, the other novices are getting to learn as well. No such thing as a stupid question. Well, actually, there is stupid questions. Someone came on yesterday and asked me if am I day trading? I'm like, well, what's the name of the live stream? What's my profile name? So you can see what I'm doing. So yes, I'm day trading. 119,000 in volume. So on this candle here, there was 119,000 shares traded. Yes. However, on this current candle, we're talking 16,000. So it's important that you get the continuation. So BTCY, which is Biotricity, we had one big candle on the in terms of volume, and now it's dying off. It's up 23%. It's at 95. It's 23%. What you've got to factor into that as well is it's a $1 stock. It's a sub-dollar stock, should I say? So it's a penny stock. When we've got it might be up what 18%. You look at the spreads, there are half a cent on the spread, 6.6%, 0.6 cents. But then you've got an average true range here of just under 4 cents. So each candle is effectively averaging out over the last 14 candles. Each candle is averaging 4 cents per candle. So it moves either up or down 4 cents. So can you make money on that range? That's the question. Also, if you're going to get in there, you want to be taking more than 4 cents as your stop loss. If you're getting in at 95 cents, you don't want to be setting a stop loss at 92 cents because the likelihood is you're going to get stopped out before it then makes its move back up. So right now, the spreads are 2.5 cents. So spreads are 2.5 cents. You've got an ATR of 4 cents. It's probably not much. It's probably not worth risking it. So here we've got a double bottom formation. I don't think this lost connection. Right, what's going on here? Seem to have lost my connection on the Is anybody else having issues with the server? Well, if it's not just me, that's fine. If yours has gone down as well, it's probably a network issue, a server issue. So. There we go. I'm back in. I'm back in. So I've got data. So for whatever reason that just I'm glad I wasn't in a trade then. So I've got data again. Whatever reason. No, TikTok's fine. YouTube's fine. It was for whatever reason. I just lost connectivity on the platform very shortly. Are you on? But Dan, I think you're CMEG UK, aren't you? And I know you're CMEG UK, Alistair. So it might be different, but it probably is a different server because I know it. In fact, I know it's a different server. But this is not doing anything right now. It's here we go again. Oh, hang on, I'm just going to yeah, I'm just going to sit on my hands till a bit later in the day, I think, as well, I think. Okay, just bear with me 1 second. I will just reload everything here. I'll just reload this and see what happens. Logging back in. Yeah, I'm having a couple of issues with the platform. Let's see if right, I'm back. At least I seem to be. Let's zoom in. Zoom in. Right, okay. I don't know what happened there. Right, okay, sorry about the glitch. That was Gremlins, I guess. Right, what were we talking about? Where were we? I suppose that's the question. I started off, I think I put $10,000 into an account in my first account and blew it up. I reloaded with 5,000, blew that up. In total, the first, I blew my account up 3 times, almost 4. I blew my account up 3 times and I lost a little over $30,000 in total, Nikolai. So it took me about nearly 8 months before I started consistently making profits. But even then, I wasn't making good profits after that. I was just, what I'd do is, the guys that in the Day Trade with Tony community will, yeah, the guys that are in Day Trade with Tony community will verify that they've had this experience as well. Is that you start getting a bit cocky, you start getting overconfident that you make some good trades, you start getting some good wins under your belt, and then you get a bit overconfident, you win big size, you'll have like 3 winning days in a row, 3 green days in a row where you over goal, and then on the 4th day you give it all back and maybe a bit besides, so you end up red again. And so you're like 3 steps forward, 4 steps back. And that was a constant thing that I had to struggle with to start off with. once I've settled on a strategy, and the discipline to execute against that strategy is what's key. So yeah, it took me a while. It took me a while. And you've got to understand that it's you say that, Alistair. Let's get this watch list sorted out, because Tesla not quite down. Genius Group, I'll leave that there because potentially that does have potential. Alright, okay. What else is moving? Is anybody seeing anything worth trading right now? I mean, I've got like 5 stocks that are over that 15% on the day. Nothing else really. Nothing else really setting up as far as I can see. Well, no need to be speechless, Nikolai. I've got to be honest, right now it's looking like it's going to be no trades probably till lunchtime, when we might get some news drops that the market starts to pick up. I'm not seeing anything worth trading right now. CRGO, cargo halted. I've got a volatility halt there. So this is an IPO? Looks like it's an IPO. It's halted to the upside. I'll put this on there, so this could be interesting. When did this halt? It halted? No, it's trading's resumed. So there's no volume, but this is people looking for things. I'll put this on here. Only $30. Started trading. It looks like it's an IPO. Let's have a quick look at this, see if I can get any details on it. Okay, so Freightos, a leading vendor-neutral booking and payment platform for international freight, lists on the NASDAQ. So it's an IPO. It's a SPAC merger. Not quite an ICO. It's a SPAC merger. Getcha was the so GIAC was the SPAC that it's merged with. So it's yeah, we've not can watch that. Bullfrog hasn't started trading yet, and neither has this one. So yeah, there's nothing much happening at the moment. Yeah, absolutely. So what I would say is look, I'm happy to teach people, take them under my wing and give them the knowledge, but I can't give anybody guarantees of profitability simply for the fact that you've got to do it yourself. If lazy people come on this stream, come to me directly, asking me for signals and alerts, and I'm like, look, if you're going to be reliant on other people for your entries and exit points, then trading is not for you. May as well just give them your money. Go to a brokerage, go to a finance company that will trade on your behalf, a firm that's a prop firm or a hedge fund or whatever, and just give them your money, or just buy into the S&P 500, buy a whole bunch of SPY and watch it grow over time. Look, if you're going to be reliant on somebody else to give you signals and alerts, then trading isn't for you. Learn how to trade. Seriously. Learn how to do it and how to spot the entries and exits for yourself. Secondly, the big thing is that if you're looking to, if you think it's going to be a get-rich-quick scheme, I can tell you categorically it's not. It's not easy. Like I say, I can teach you, methodologies. I can give you the knowledge, but it's up to you to execute. I can even give you strategies to trade against, but it's up to you to be disciplined enough to execute against those strategies. One of the key factors of trading that in terms of learning how to trade is managing your risk, managing your discipline, managing your risk. It's absolutely imperative to profitable trading. And if you can't manage risk, then you're going to lose money in the long term. I keep saying that get ready to be wrong on a regular basis. I'm wrong every single day, and I just don't let it faze me. I know I get into I take trades I shouldn't do, and as soon as I've taken them, I know I shouldn't have taken the trade. Sometimes it works, sometimes it didn't. I traded one yesterday that if it had gone in my favor and it had resumed when it's supposed to, I got into a halt, and I was about $6 up per share in the halt. And if it had gone in my favor, I would have been sitting pretty. It didn't. It resumed flat, and I ended up getting out for a small loss. So I shouldn't have taken the trade in the first place. It was too risky. So if you're not comfortable with that risk, then at the end of the day, I was prepared to lose, to take a losing trade. I didn't think I was going to lose as much as I potentially could have done with that trade, but that's a different story entirely. So yeah, there's nothing moving at the moment. It's just a case of sit on your hands, Alberto. Managing your mindset. So if you're a gamer, it can help. So if you've got an analytical mind, so I'm an engineer by trade. So I studied engineering. I've got a degree in mechanical engineering. So I'm a very analytical person by default. So that's me. But also I'm a bit of a gamer. I like playing games. I'm also a degenerate gambler, but that's completely, that's probably what kept, the fact that I'm a degenerate gambler is probably what kept me in the market when I was losing. But being able to analyze the patterns, being able to calculate mentally risk versus reward, what share size you're going in, how much you're risking, what levels you need to be getting at, all this kind of stuff. Being able to do that very, very quickly. I mean, it takes time. You can acquire that skill, but be able to do that very quickly. If you're able to do that, and a lot of gamers are able to apply themselves to the mentality of trading, because they look at it like gamification. It's all about gamification. They look at it like a game, like they're playing on their Xbox or something. And you've got to kind of detach yourself from the emotional aspect, which is a huge thing. And even I don't. I've been doing it a while now profitably, and even I struggle with that at times. But detaching yourself from the emotional aspect. One of the ways I'm able to do this is I take profits every month. And I start with a $30,000 account each month. Well, I'm going to increase that to $50,000 from February onwards. But I'm going to start with $50,000 each month in the account. And that's my tuition fee for that month. That's my access to the markets. I write that off. So the fact that I'm actually playing with the market's money now anyway, because of the profits I've made over the last couple of years, but I write that off. So if I lose on a particular day, it doesn't matter. I've already written that money off. If you're depositing into a brokerage net new, let's say you're starting a small account and you're putting 5,000 into your brokerage, write it off. That's gone now, and that's your access to the market. That's your tuition fee. Any profits that you make at the end of the month, split it 3 ways, or split it in 2 to start a $5,000 account. Split it in 2. Treat yourself. Take half off, withdraw half, and leave the other half to grow the account. That's the way I would advise people to do it, kind of slowly over the course. And that way you're getting a little bit of a treat by performing well, and you get an incentive to perform well. But also, because you've written that $5,000 off, that's gone. You can't touch it anymore. It's not real money. And that's where you kind of detach yourself from it emotionally. That $5,000 now is gone. That's how much I paid the broker for access to the markets. It's no longer real money. That's my starting position on the game of money generation. And then when you make profits, you grow those profits over the course of the next 4 weeks. For example, you start February the 1st and you grow those profits over the course of the next 4 weeks. It might be 200 bucks a day. Over 20 days, you know, you've made 4 grand. So you started off with 5 and you do 200 bucks a day. You made 4 after the end of the month. So you take 2 out and you now start in the next month with 7 grand. That's the mentality that you want to be doing. So until you withdraw the money, it's not real. It's, as Matthew McConaughey says in The Wolf of Wall Street, it's a fugazi, it's a faguzi, it's fairy dust. And I find that trying to, and it's not easy, but trying to have that kind of mentality helps detach from the emotional aspects a little bit. GNS on the 1 minute, I'll take a look at that, Alistair. Yeah, potential double bottom here. Back above the red green line could be of interest. It's just sideways at the moment, though. If you look at this, it really is sideways. It's kind of running out of steam over the last couple of days. If you look at it on the 15, you'll see what I'm talking about. Where's the 15? I'll zoom out. So it had this move up, and we got the peak there. Funnily enough, that line goes up to the peak. So it had this move up, and then it's just slowly running out of steam. You know, we've got this bottom here that it's been bouncing at around the $4 level. It's finally broke under the $4 today, so I think we might see a sell-off on Genius. I'll be very surprised if we get another move up, just based on this pattern here, the longer time frame pattern. And the longer the time frame, the higher the time frame, the more reliable it tends to be. So this is a descending wedge into a flat bottom. The flat bottom is this $4 area. So we're looking at $4 there. Flat bottom at $4, lower swing highs, so we're getting a descending wedge into a flat bottom. Typically breaks downwards, so I'm expecting that to sell off. Any action with BTB? Not really. Sideways. BTB, it's one of those days, guys. It's just a sideways trading day. I really think that the best thing I can do right now, I mean, I'm 3,000 in the hole, which is, you know, that's one trade. It could be a one good trade, or it could be two or three base hits, kind of $1,000 each. But the way I'm looking at this, I mean, if you look at the SPY, the market, it's we've got this double bottom here, moving back up, but it's very choppy at the moment, sideways. There's not a lot of movement, there's not a lot of volume on anything that's moving. So I think the best thing I can do, rather than getting into trouble trading something, is take the dog for a walk and come back later. I'll stick around for half an hour. I'd commit to streaming for 90 minutes of the market, but it's not going to be very Q-rate retail popped up on the scanners, but it's not going to be very interesting or action orientated if there is nothing moving. So BTB, I'd say very sideways at the moment. Tesla had the same double. So this is the market. This is the SPY. So it's the Spider S&P500 ETF. And you've got the double bottom here, on more pronounced on the 2 minute. If you look at the 2 minute, you can see it's a little bit more pronounced. But you've got Tesla as well, doing exactly the same thing. So Tesla's moving back up now. So maybe we start looking at some of these. Why is my signals not doing anything? Cargo halted again. So halted to the upside this time. Go figure. No, halted to the downside again. So this is right. Let's see what else is moving. Nothing. Kind of just my signals are not really wanna refresh my Benzinga signals. Having a few glitches today, it seems, on the terms of the gremlins. Disney ain't never had a friend like Will Smith. Yeah. So this was paused at 25, so we've got 4 minutes on that one anyway. So are we moving back up with this one that's robbed me today? Trying for 3 There is absolutely rack, so you can see a lot more on the old tube. So make sure you get subscribed to that channel. Hit the notification bell as well. If you're subscribed, you get all the updates in terms of at the end of the day as well. All the update videos there, rack. So I'm surprised you didn't know that already. So we're getting. I say I didn't really want to try and trade this until it's back over $3. So. Jobless claims have already come out, Super Chip. Already dropped. Jobless claims came out at 1:30 US, 1:30 UK, 8:30 US, 8:30 East Coast market time. So they came out an hour before the market. Jobless claims. Not as many people as anticipated at jobless. We were having that conversation earlier. I think you missed it about how people. Whilst there's been a lot of announcements of job losses, there's not been a huge amount of follow through on that as yet. So I've had 3 entries on this and I've lost every time. So my question is, do I trade it again today? Averaged 1100 loss on each one. Via. It's a low. It's at 42 cents. So, yeah. Edibles still there. Yeah, just don't take, and I would say this to everybody, is don't take a trade just because you feel like. One of the things that coming out of the workforce, coming out of a 9 to 5 and starting to day trade, one of the first things that I still struggle with right now is you think as you used to being busy at the office, you're used to being busy in your 9 to 5. If you're not busy, you feel like you're not doing anything. So you feel like you're not actually doing, you're not earning your money if you just sat there watching the charts and watching the scanners and waiting, just sitting on your hands doing nothing. You feel like a bit of a cheat, and that's a big thing I've always struggled with, because I've grown up enterprising. You get out what you put in. You need to get rid of that mindset. You need to throw the water away, as Bruce Lee says. Empty the cup and to start again. Waiting, doing nothing, waiting for the right setup is the most profitable thing that you can do. There's more money in waiting than there is in chasing the market. If you've got no setups across the day, so if nothing happens today and I can't find something to trade, then tomorrow's another day. There's another trading day tomorrow, and it's a Friday. Then there's another trading week next week. And you know what? I've not lost any money. It's a break-even day. So on Monday, I had a big losing day, I had a big red day. So if I'd sat on my hands and done nothing, I'd have been more profitable on Monday than I was by, chasing the volatility in the market. So if there's nothing moving, exactly. Think of it. If you're a fisherman, you'll understand. You just sat there on the bank waiting for a nibble. Sometimes you might recast your line, but you don't start reeling things in just because your float bob's on the water. You wait for a proper nibble. So yeah, I like the fisherman analogy. Super chip. Good call. Time to trade myself. Yeah, absolutely. So we're going up here now. We're trading $3, trying to break $3. That was the pullback that we were waiting for. I've got the high of day, which was 315. That's what we're waiting for. The break of 315. We'll wait for the break of highs. So otherwise, we're getting in, and we're only going to get 15 cents maximum. And whilst that's not a bad base hit, there's nothing else moving. So stop losses per day, daily stop loss. Yeah, I tend to try and again, I'm not very good at this because I tend to look at the market opportunity. But I would say, whatever your equity position is, if you reach 10%, you need to get out. If you lose 10% of your equity position, get out. Don't trade anymore. If you lose 5%, there should be alarm bells ringing. But if you lose 10% on a daily basis, get out. If you're looking at making 5% on a daily basis, that's your target, then that should also be your max loss. So for example, if you've got a $5,000 account and you're looking to make 250 bucks, that's 5%. Then you shouldn't. If you lose 250 bucks, then you wrap it up and you call it a day. So have the same targets both ways. But sometimes you get caught out, and the market can be quite buoyant, and sometimes you can get caught out and you go over your max loss, but the opportunity's still there. And that's the problem that I always suffer with, is that I've got the volatility, I've got the opportunity, the market is looking buoyant, and I get to my max loss. Do you know what? I'm going to see if I can come back from that. And that resilience to succeed it's got me into trouble on a number of occasions, but more often than not, it's actually worked out well for me. I may not have recovered the full drawdown, but I've certainly got less drawdown going into the next day in most cases. So it's just something that I do, but I recommend if you hit your goal to the downside, if you're looking at a 5% per day as your profit target, if you hit 5% to the downside, you should lock it up, and that's your max loss on the day. Come back the next day. It's not going your way. Well, in the UK, there's a number of trade zeros being recommended to me quite a bit lately. The advantage of trading with capital markets, or CMEG, capital markets UK in your case, is the no PDT rule. You can get a margin account and no PDT rule. There's a number of other brokers that you can use and trade a cash account if you're going to be day trading. Yeah, I recommend Capital Markets Elite Group, Sam. That's who I trade with primarily. I do occasionally trade with Interactive Brokers, but being based in Ireland, I don't get stung by the PDT rule with Interactive. Also, I say that, but it doesn't bother me anyway because I have a larger account, so I shouldn't have an issue. But by all means, anyone else in the chat, if you've got a good broker that you recommend in the UK, drop it in the chat. let me know your thoughts. Let me know, because I'm looking for alternatives to CMEG, because students in the day trade with Tony Discord, if you don't like Dash Trader, or you don't like CMEG, or whatever the reasons are, let's get options available, and let me know who you're trading with, and do you recommend them? All right, let's go back to Qualtrics. $14.75. Yeah. I'm not seeing the volume there. I'm not impressed with the volume on that one. Affinity. Bayer. Yeah. Spreads on this are 90 cents, so just be careful on that one. I wouldn't trade that unless you have to. Spreads on this are a whole dollar. So this is what I was talking about earlier, the SPAC release. Might be worth keeping an eye on throughout the day as it gets a bit more volume comes in, and the spreads narrow. If we can get some liquidity into the stock, that's great, because then the spreads get narrower, because at the moment with a $1.05, $1.10 spread, it's not ideal. So this is looking surprised it's not launched. I thought this might have launched by now, but it's not. So let's go back to micro algo. Lauren, well, micro algo's been the only thing I've traded so far. Got faked out a couple of times. But apart from that, there's not a lot moving. Well, not on volume at least, anyway. So we're struggling to find out setups today, Lauren. Well, if you stick around, Lauren, you'll know that I've got TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube all going at the same time. So, you know, fill your tits and. Don't get upset when I'm you know, not responding to you specifically. I do chat to everybody as I can. Well, Tesla, to be fair, it's defying the odds. I mean, it's up on the day quite considerably. Had good earnings. It bounced very nicely on the 200 EMA, and right now, whilst it's pulling back, it's really just following the market. But if I look, this is Tesla on the 2 minute, okay? I'm just going to look at it on the 1 minute. So this is Tesla on the 1 minute. If you look at it on the 15, you can see what I'm talking about. It's still looking very bullish. If you look at the SPY chart, it's pretty similar. I mean, granted, the closing price is different, but in terms of the overall pattern of that, so this is the overall market. So Tesla, it's still looking very bullish. On the 1 minute, it's still ranging in and around the VWAP. I would personally, I just think it's looking too strong right now to short. Just coming from above the VWAP, it's just trending sideways right now. So once we start getting a discernible below the VWAP type price action, yeah, it might start looking weak and sell off. It might sell off. You might be right, Lauren. But personally, I just think it's too risky to try and short it right now. So the momentum stocks here, This is it, but it's struggling. We're getting a bit of. We had this move up, broke the high of day at 325. I want to look for the breaks. There we go. We'll get in here. We'll look for, what are we at, 33? We'll look for 50. It's 345. I'll take some off there, and then I'll put a 10-cent trailing stop in there. See if we get a continued move up. I'll add back to the position if it breaks over the $0.50. Right now I've got this trailing stop in place, so it's a free trade. Maybe get a little bit back on the on what I lost earlier. Well, I think Elon's lost the plot. Personally, I think Elon's lost the plot since he took over Twitter. He's got too political for my book, and a lot of investors are feeling the same way. Right. What's the halt level? 398. So we're way off the halt level. $5,000 shares on this now. I've got a 2,500 trailing, 2,500 share trailing stop. Okay, so I've just changed the stop for the full amount. So we've got a 5,000 share trailing stop now, 10-cent trailing stop. Missed some of that move up, so that's my safety net. We can get over the $0.75 psychological level of the quarter, half, and whole dollars I've mentioned. If we can get over that $0.75 level, I can add to the position. My average cost here is $350. So I've got to stop at 356 right now. Yeah, so I got stopped out. So it pulled back the 10 cents. I was looking for 10 cents, and then I got the stop in place. I took some profits, added to the position. So now we've got a first candle break a new low. That's your exit indicator. That's also your reversal indicator. If you look at on the higher time frames, you've got the upwick, which is also a reversal indicator. So always let the market dictate your exit position, rather than, once you're in a profitable trade, let the market dictate your exit position. But once you've got to you take profit, take some profit straight away on your first target, and then move your stop to zero. And then from that point, you can actually trail your stop up and let the market dictate when you get out. So I bought in at I bought in there. You're asking when I bought in. I bought in at 333. So on this move up, as we broke new highs. So I got in for the break of 330. So we had this flat top formation here, I got in for the break of 330. I took some profits just over 340, and then I rolled the rest up. I added to the position up at the top as it moved up. I took a bit more profit, and then as it pulled back, we got stopped out. Yeah, it's it hit the stop loss. So I took 5,000 shares to start off with, Nikolai. So 5,000 shares would be like a $3 stock. It's a little over $15,000 equity position. But I took 5,000 shares to start off with. At the first take profit, so I got in at 333. Took 5,000 shares. I moved up a little over 341. I took 2.5 of those off. Then I added another 5,000 shares at 358. I then put 2,500 off as it pulled back at that same price, 358. So I was effectively just moving my average cost up and increasing my size. And then when it started to pull back, I exited at 356. So profitable across the board there. Well, I wouldn't think of it in that. I wouldn't look at what percentage you're getting per trade. You look to how much you're getting per share is really what you want to be looking for there, Nikolai. And then your share size dictates how much you get for the trade. So if you're getting a 10-cent move per share, then if you can do that every single day, then what's going to dictate your earnings is just how much, what share size you take. So I could have done that on a small account and made, made about $600 or whatever it was. Well, 15K wasn't the, so just put it into context. I wasn't risking 15K. Like I say, it's this price per share that you're looking at and times by the share size. So when I took that position, for the break of 330, I already had this previous high here, 315. So I was risking that would have been my stop loss. So I was risking 15 cents. So 5,000 shares at 15 cents, I'm risking $750. But I made I made 20 cents. I made a good 20 cents on that. So whilst I was risking 15, I made 20. It actually went up 40 cents. So, and that's why the exit indicators. Let's say you let the market dictate when it stops. I had the trailing stop in place. Does it pull back and hit the trailing stop? It continued selling off. So I'm out of that position now, and that trailing stop saved me from giving back to the market. So. This is why it should be easier to trade in the open market than it is pre-market, because you can have stop losses. You can't have stop losses in pre-market, so you've got to do it mentally. And very often that's where I come unstuck. Pre-market is it goes past my stop loss, mental stop loss, and I'll just hold for a bounce, and it doesn't bounce, it continues selling, and I end up getting out for a much lower position than what I originally anticipated. At least when you put an actual physical stop loss in place on the system, on your platform, it helps you with the discipline to cut your position when it reaches a certain level. So I recommend, particularly for new traders, I recommend using stop losses all the time. Yeah, you can do that. Depends. So if you can time it. Now you've got the spreads to factor into that. So you're never going to get the absolute top because of the spreads. But if you time that, maybe your take profit here was 370. You said, okay, well, my goal, I've got to goal. I'm going to get out at 370. You get to 372, see 373, and you exit the position its entirety. It pulls back. That's just timing. That's a lot of that's just luck. You're never going to get the full move. Well, I think this could very well be me. Let's see. Is there anything else worth taking a look at? Okay, so let's take a look, shall we? I think I'm done for now. I'll come back later and see what else is worth trading. Yeah, so SCLC's not got the volume for me. SCLX, which is SkyLX Holdings, it's moved up into a hold. That's the biggest volume candle that we've had. We've just not had the volume up until then. Now, after it resumes, let's see what happens. But up until now, it's just not had the volume for me. Right now, it's 1.5 times. No, it's 2 times. 2x relative volume. It normally does about 200,000 on a daily. It's currently at 400,000. That halt was at 47. So we probably will get a resumption in just over 47 and 8 seconds. So we'll get a resumption in about 15 seconds or so. Well, again, low price penny stocks. I'm not really something that, so that gap down moved up to 1060, gap down on the halt. Can it hold $10? It's selling off. Now you can short it by all means. You can, when there's the stocks available to short, but I am a long bias trader, so I tend to go long most days. I occasionally will short. I think I shorted the other day, and it didn't go for me. What did I short the other day? Last week. But I can't remember when I shorted something and it didn't go for me. Yeah, I think I'm going to be done right now. I'm going to take the dog for a walk. I'm going to wrap up here and take the dog for a walk. Before I do that, you've been asking, you've been a great community today. So you've been asking a lot of questions. What I'll do is I'll go through some of those questions now and show you my setup and everything else. So let's have a quick look. Okay, so what you're seeing here is my Benzinga screens. Okay, so what I'll show you in just a short space of time is I'm going to come back in a second. So this is my Benzinga screen here. So here I've got, and I think I covered this off earlier. Here I've got my my gap scanner on the day. So this is the top performers to the upside above $2 on the day. Here's my momentum scanner. So it's similar kind of setup, but over the last 15 minutes. Which what's momentum? What I've got here, I've got the price, I've got how much it's up, I've got the volume it's up on, I've got the average volume over the last 3 months, I've got the company name, etc., etc. The same thing applies on that one. Here I've got a real-time scanner. Now I've got this filtered out at I think 50 cents. Oh, actually, no, I've not got, because this is you can see 42 cents. So I've not got any filters on this. This is just a real-time scanner. What's moving? Based, I can look at the top performers. I can look at the top performers over the last hour. So these are the scanners, the 3 scanners that I use. And I've got signals. So here I've got signals. My signals are like volatility alerts, price spikes. As you can see for these, so SRTY is breaking up, new highs. So that's a ETF, bear ETF there as well. So they're breaking new highs as the markets look to go red on the day. So the SPY breaking under 401. So that's why you're seeing those. So day high series and things. So this is my Benzinga. So if you're wondering what Benzinga is, if I go to my, well, where's my link tree here? Here's my link tree. So these links are all in the description on YouTube. If you're wondering where to find this link tree, if you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on Twitch or Twitter or something, you can see the link in the top in the top left. If you are watching on TikTok, then this is my link tree. You'll find it in my profile, link tree, the TikTok trader. You find it in my profile. Just go into my profile, click on my face, takes you to my profile, and then click the link that's there, and it brings you to this. Now you can get your merchandise, lovely merchandise. Check it out. Trading with Tony merchandise. So you've got your coffee mugs, your mouse mats, your baseball caps, hoodies, whatever it is that you feel. Check out the merch store. It's you requested it, I built it. So people wanting hoodies with just a fat guy on the internet, or get green, stay green, the usual catchphrases I come out with on a daily. So I've done that for you. You can have that. I was talking about Benzinga. So this is my Benzinga workstation. So I've talked about Benzinga. You'll find it. It's the second link down. So to find stocks to trade, I use Benzinga. If you click on Benzinga, that one, it will bring you through to Benzinga Pro. You can, I'm already logged in, so you can see this, but up here you'll normally have, try free for 14 days. So you can try that out for free for 14 days. It will give you all the scanners that I use on a daily basis and more. So if I go back to Benzinga, you can see here you've got movers, you've got signals, you've got scanners, you've got the charts, the insider knowledge, who's buying that works for the company, etc. You've got calendars. So if I do this every single day, so the calendar, for example, I look at this calendar here, and this tells me earnings today. Who's got earnings today? All these stocks have got earnings today. So, and on a daily basis. So tells you exactly what's going on, and you can actually even on that, I'll just do that again, so you can actually look at what other things are. So that's earnings. I might look at economics. So when I say start looking at economics, you can filter by country, but you can look at GDP came out, core PCE prices came out, all of these GDP and stuff, jobless claims, what time they're coming out as well. So you get all of this in Benzinga every single day. And that's what I use to help me trading. That's what I use to find stocks to trade. Benzinga is brilliant. It really is, and it is pricey if you pay full price. What I would suggest is if you're going to go for it and you do like it, go for a longer term. You get a better price. And use my discount code, which is DTWT35. You get 35% off whatever program that you decide to go for. So that's Benzinga, okay? And yes, I get a kickback. I get a little commission from that. It is an affiliate link, but you get it. Everybody wins. Benzinga get a new customer. You get a better price on Benzinga and the scanners that can help you be profitable. And I get a kickback just for my trouble of recommending you. But there you go. If you want to learn how to trade, day trade with Tony, this is that you guys asked for it. You guys asked me if I would teach you, so I did this. I put this course together here, and if you click through on this one, day trade with Tony, you can see that you've got full syllabus here. Introduction to trading for beginners. It's in lay terminology, so I don't get too complex or jargon orientated. You've got introduction to trading, it's over an hour's lecture there. Then we've got a chapter on risk management, how to manage risk, what you're looking for there, stock selection, what I'm looking for on each particular trade. The charts, my chart setups, understanding what I'm looking for on the charts, chart patterns that I use, strategies that I use, scanning for stocks. I've just talked about, I showed you my Benzinga. There's a whole bunch of Benzinga tutorials in this as well. A big part of trading, we've covered this off as well, is the psychological aspect, the managing trades and the psychological aspect. And there's a whole chapter dedicated to that. If you get that far, then of course you want to start getting a bit more technical. As I say, it is lay terminology. It's not it's not overly jargon speak, but I do get a bit more technical when we start talking about level 2 hotkeys and advanced technical indicators. If you do get good at trading and you want to trade full time as a professional trader, then you want to be trading as a business. You want a business plan. You want to be able to understand, you know, you're going to have to pay tax on that. You want to be setting goals and targets. You want to have a full business plan available to yourself, and I help you with that as well. There's also an introductions to options trading and a bonus swing trading course as well. Whole library of ebook reading material. So you know, check out those as well. It's $120 US plus tax wherever you are. Now, somebody was saying in terms of profitability, I keep meaning to update this page, and I've not done it for a while. If you scroll down, you've got my TraderView statistics for the first 6 months of 2022 and the corresponding broker statements from those months. So you see the statistics that I've got. You'll see the broker statements which show that my profitability on a daily basis throughout the month, the transactions, both withdrawals and the red days, the green days, etc., etc. So you've got 6 months of that showing that I'm profitable and consistently profitable. So check that out. I mentioned there TraderView statistics. TraderView, this is TraderView. I've actually got it open here, the report. So this is my TraderView statistics here right now. And you can see that yesterday I had a $4,000 day, 28,000 the day before, and 25,000 in losses on Monday. I had a bad day on Monday. I had a bad day on Tuesday last week as well. So, you know, it is what it is. We've had two green days in a row. I'm slightly red at the moment, but if something, I might finish slightly red. I might not take another trade, but we'll see. So if we look at the actual reports, you can see, you know, across the course of this month, you can see 110,000 in gross profits already this month. My average daily gain this month is been 7,300. Go back to the calendar, you can see why that is, because I had a couple of really big days. A couple of weeks ago, I had a 42,000 day on the Wednesday, followed by a Good Friday. We had I traded an IPO, got $20,000 out of that. So that's really set me up. We had a $11,000 day, 10,000 plus change last Friday. So, you know, we're having a good January. Going back to the reports again, we're having a good January. We're making inroads. We need a goal of 120,000 a month is what I'm targeting myself on this year. So I need another 10,000 to get there between today, tomorrow, and the 2 days next week for January. I'm confident I'll do that. Maybe not today, but over the course of the next few days. If I look at days and times, I can look at which day. You can see this month that Mondays are my losing days. Profitable every other day. By hour, you can see that between 8 and 9, I'm actually losing money. But after that, kind of 11 till 12, I'm actually making the most money this month as well. So if I look at the details, if you're wondering what did I do last year, I'll just change this over to what I did last year, and you'll see my overall results in terms of the 1.24 million gross number, a little over 1 million net after all fees and charges. My average last year was 5,300 on a daily basis. So can you do that? Let's not be silly. You've got to learn how to do it first, okay, guys? So check out the description. If you're wondering what the platform is that I'm trading on, it's Dash Trader. Check out the link. You can actually use that as a simulator, or you can link it to your brokerage. If you're trading with, you know, TD Ameritrade or CMEG, or there's a number of different brokers that will give you their OEM version. So CMEG will give you what they call Trader Elite Pro, which is Dash Trader under their brand. So it's the same thing, exactly the same software, just they've got their own brand on it. So yeah, that's me done for the day. So let's have a look at what else do I need to do? End the stream, I guess. So yeah, I'm done. I'll be back at it tomorrow, 1 hour before the market opens. So come join me then, and we'll do it all again tomorrow. That's 8:30 market time. That's 1:30 here in Ireland or the UK, and we'll do it all again tomorrow. Take care. I will see you soon. I'm going to go and walk the dog.